What's good? We back, Motor City Sports Talk, talking about the Detroit Pistons. And, a lot of fans are starting to realize that the Pistons kind of whiffed again in the draft. No disrespect to Luke Kennard. I think he's going to be an okay NBA player. And after Donavon Mitchell won a dunk contest last night, a lot of Pistons or casual sports Detroit fans are now starting to realize that the Pistons just don't have the ability to draft. Now, when they traded away those draft picks, that they had a top 4 protection to the Clippers, a lot of people kept throwing that in my face when I went to work, talking about the Detroit Pistons. Oh, they did with draft picks. I'm like, the Pistons usually draft, right out in the lottery, like 12, 13, 14, 15. They don't get the lucky bounce of the lottery ball like Cleveland Cavaliers, routinely getting other teams get all the time. But I'm not going to talk about conspiracy theories. They don't get that. And then when they do get the picking, drafting, right in that middle area of the draft, they don't know how to draft. I mean, history shows you over and over again, the Lions don't know how to, the Pistons, don't know how to evaluate talent. And it's just there. No matter, they don't know how to get the diamonds in the rough. They took Kentavious Caldwell-Pope over Giannis Antetokounmpo. And look at Giannis. He's blowing up in Milwaukee. And this year they did it again. Not only if you give them a clear pick with Darko and Carmelo Anthony, even if it's that clear of a pick, they can't make it. And it's not a Joe Dumars thing. It's just not Stan Van Gundy thing. It must be the curse of the Detroit Pistons draft. And that's what it is. I mean, he took Luke Kennard out of Duke. And when's the last great Duke player, came out of college and been anything? And don't tell me Kyrie Irving, because he barely even played for Duke. I mean, it's been a long time. Jabari Parker's okay. Now Duke is getting a lot of super diaper dandies, a lot of super freshmen. That might change. But Luke Kennard wasn't a super freshman in my opinion. He's a guy that's about 6'4". He's a tweener. But he's not Donavon Mitchell and he's not Kyle Kuzma. He's not even John Collins from the Atlanta Hawks, who's a very, very productive power forward for the Atlanta Hawks. It's just, if you see these guys play, Luke Kennard is a knockdown shooter. He's a good player, but he's not Donavon Mitchell. If you put Luke Kennard and Donavon Mitchell in the same gym in pre-draft workouts, I mean, for sure you're going to take Donavon Mitchell. You put Kyle Kuzma in there with Luke Kennard in pre-draft work, for sure you're going to pick Kyle Kuzma. And it's like the Pistons are half-ass evaluating these players. Because you look at the talent, you watch them play, and I watch them play a lot. And I'm like, all these guys, I watch them play a lot. I like the Lakers as well. I always somehow get caught up seeing the Utah game. And you look at them, and you're like, man, how did they make that pick? How did they make that pick? And, it's beyond me. But also, if you want to watch a lot of different sports games, I'm going to leave a link in the description. It's called sportsarefree.xyz. The link will be in the description. Check that out. It's mobile friendly. Clear 1080p games. Every basketball, football, hockey game, baseball. You'll be glad that you downloaded it. And that's just a gift from me to you guys. Showing my appreciation for subscribing and liking and continuing to share the stuff as well. And if you choose to use that link and it's mobile friendly in your browser to get all the free sports, and they had Olympic channels on there as well, just share this video, and that'll be the return, what I'm asking from you guys. Just share the video and tell people about the page. But like I said, man, this is crazy. These guys are head and shoulders above Luke Kennard. And Luke Kennard, man, I like what I've been seeing from him. He's quick. He's quick. He can shoot. And I'm glad that they moved on from Avery Bradley and they're giving him a chance. And another problem with the Detroit Pistons is they don't play rookies. No matter how bad they are, they don't play rookies. They want to play these veterans over these rookies for whatever reason. Oh, you got to earn it. They did it with Tayshaun Prince back in the day. He was a 4-year starter at Kentucky for Tubby Smith. And at a very desperate point, they pulled him off the deep freeze and put him on T-Mac, and they won that series. I think it was a 2 versus 7 seed. The Pistons was the 2 seed. The Orlando Magic was the 7 seed, and Tayshaun Prince was the X factor. They did it with Chris Middleton and Spencer Dinwiddie, both tearing it up. Middleton tearing it up in Milwaukee. Chris is doing his thing out there. He's become a nice complimentary player for Milwaukee, a knockdown shooter, get 40, 30 points on any given night. Spencer Dinwiddie, the guard that they got, I believe, out of Colorado State, who had the knee injury. They took a chance on him. Didn't really let him develop. Didn't want to let him play. He's in Brooklyn tearing it up this year. He's a competent point guard. Might look like he might have some all-star potential with him. They evaluated Spencer Wright, but guess what? They didn't give him the opportunity to play. The Pistons are going to have to be a very, very bad team and clean their scouting department out and get some real scouts in there and try to get a top 5 pick. They might have to sell because drafting in the middle of the draft, they're not good enough to find those hidden gems in the rough, the hidden diamonds in the rough in the draft. And this shows it again. This is another year where they passed up on 2 potential All-Stars in the future, in Kyle Kuzma and Donavon Mitchell. But to be fair, a lot of people passed up on Kyle Kuzma. There's a few teams that wish they would have took Donavon Mitchell as well, but you can't be those teams. You have to capitalize on these potential All-Stars. We gone.